Good evening to everyone. My name is Paula Hurlock, and we have a very exciting presentation today. Now, as we move towards the spring equinox coming out of the holiday season, a lot of us are contending with having overeaten. And we don't overeat because we are careless. We overeat because family and community inspires that kind of thing. Lots of family members around, you're getting to eat home styled cooking from your mom's home, from your family home, from country, from, all sorts of spaces. And so we find ourselves at the beginning of the Gregorian New Year. We are faced with a few extra pounds. In addition to that, hi, Lotus and Savannah. In addition to that, there are a lot of people, and especially here in Jamaica where I am, a lot of people have been suffering, literally suffering from all sorts of pelvic inflammatory diseases. I cannot tell you the number of persons that call me or message me about PCOS and fibroids and endometriosis. I am not equipped to give advice on that. However, I know who I can get advice from, and our special guest today is Ramona Riley. So I'm going to have her join us. Hi from London. So all of this, is because we want to make sure that if you're ever in Jamaica and you want to get a little checkup or a little detox treatment, or some great herbs or herbal blends, intelligently blended herbal blends, then you would definitely call on Ramona. So, Ramona, you're going to join us now on stage. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Blessings. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you. All right, so I'm going to let everyone in on the secret. So, I was naughty. I ate a lot of Christmas cake and I realized that my gut was shot. I take my normal herbal blend usually, but I realized that my herbal blend not working on me so well because I'm using the same herbs. And one thing about parasites, they're smart and they'll adjust to a blend. So it's often useful to switch up the types of herbs that you use. Remember, for any condition or for any parasite, there are usually a myriad of different herbs that you could use. So I found out that Ramona here does these topical detox treatments. And so I went in and I had my castor oil treatment to detox the liver, gallbladder, all, the stomach, all of the abdominal area. And also, what she did was to, put some hormones in my belly button and, get things going. So, Ramona, I want to thank you for an absolutely wonderful treatment. And I want to, turn it over to you. Tell everyone about this particular treatment before I question you in other areas. Tell them about this particular topical castor oil pack treatment that you offer.
Okay. So basically, it is called the detox treatment, and the reason why
Hmm.
is because I'm detoxing a few different systems in the body. Those
Uh-huh.
systems are the lymphatic system, the circulatory system, the digestive system, and also the reproductive system. So I'm working basically from the belly button, maybe a little bit above, all the way to the mound of your private part. And in that area, I would then use topical things like the castor oil, for example, cold pressed organic castor oil. I would use a lot of that on the abdomen, massaging, pressing different points. And then apart from that, I use different A grade essential oils. May it be rosemary or something to that effect, but definitely detoxifying. And again, A grade. When it comes to essential oils, I'm very, very, very anal. So I would do that. I also do a little therapy with the belly button as well. I think it's important that we work with the belly button. It's a powerful area that we ignore after a woman gives birth and a baby is out and the placenta is gone. We don't really think about that whole belly button thing anymore. But the fact that it did so many things in utero for that baby, clearly it has special things going on, but it's definitely not spoken about. So I use little things, I manipulate the belly button as well. Reflexology also is incorporated depending on the client. There is no detox treatment that is the exact same. So of course, depending on what your goals are, depending on your allergies, whatever it is, your treatment would be different. And of course, if you are suffering with a disease, then your treatment would definitely be completely different.
Well, let me just
That's pretty
confirm.
much. And
Let me just confirm. Let me just,
heat is involved. A lot of
yes,
heat.
yes. Let me just confirm that she did not just use a little drizzle. You know, some of these videos on IG and on YouTube telling you about how to do a castor oil pack. I see them just put a little drizzle of castor oil and they put it on the tummy and they use that overnight. I cannot understand how that would uh do a proper detox, because yes, castor oil is powerful, but I think you need a little bit more than a little drizzle on some gauze. So what you gave me was not a drizzle. My stomach was slathered with
Yeah.
cold pressed virgin
Castor
castor
oil.
oil,
Hmm.
and then I was covered with gauze, and then I was covered with the heat pack, and I sat for maybe what, 20 minutes with the heat
Um,
pack. So
so we switched it up a few times. So I would say,
yes.
um, in total, I would say that you were
Mhm.
probably under the heat for about an
Mhm.
hour.
Right.
Under
Yeah, that's
heat,
what I
just
was
not
thinking.
constantly under heat. I took you off. I did a massage on you. I added different oils, massaged you
Right.
again, put you back
Yes.
under the heat. So we did that about three different times, and then
Right.
we did a clay treatment.
Right. And
And
then I
depending
and then
on
I and then I had to ask you if my puffy underarms could also take the treatment, and she did a little bit on that because I've had, an indication of lymphatic blockages, and so she used the castor oil and the heat, and that was amazing. My husband agreed that it was a lot less puffy than when I started, so that's amazing. Now I want to get into the gut, Ramona, because a lot of people have dis-ease, and they don't correlate the disease and the root of the disease to be in the gut. So tell us a little bit about that and how you've been using that information to guide your methodologies, your modalities.
So yes, so the gut is another brain, I guess you would say, when it comes to the body, the physical body, and we want to make sure that the gut is healthy. We want to be gentle with the gut, and the reality is, in our society right now, I mean, for years really, but especially now, we are not being gentle with our guts, right? And so depending on how we eat, when we eat, what we eat, it definitely affects the gut, right? Now there are environmental things, of course, that would then also affect the gut, but we're talking about things that we can actually control, right? And then of course, you have alcohol, which is also a very big part of um, the Jamaican culture, or just I think all over the world, everybody's drinking in some shape, way, form, or fashion for the most part. And so we really want to think about what that does to the body as well. So for me, detoxing is the liver, the kidneys, like the entire digestive system. Uh, is very important to me personally. That good bacteria that we also don't talk enough about, that good bacteria needs to be abundant, right? So we need to go out of our way to make sure that it's that way. Maybe we do it in a lazy way or we do it in a different way. But the reality is that we need to have a healthy gut if we want to have no disease, if we want to feel good and feel and age backwards and feel light and be happy and mentally healthy and aware. And our gut is very important, very, very, very
Right.
important. I have a client that her daughter has autism, and she comes and brings her to me for me to do like detox treatments on her. And it's so funny how she just really just sits still and she sits on her pad and she just makes me do it. And she's like, Mr. Ramona, okay, it's a little hot. And she's just so cute, right? And again, that would work for her because it is the gut, and autism starts in the gut.
Now, someone was just asking, a gentleman in the comment section was asking if this treatment is for men as well. And I was saying absolutely yes. Now, just for the record, Ramona started off as a womb wellness specialist because I think people are born with gifts, and she just had this gift for diagnosing and helping to reverse certain imbalances in women's wombs. But because she's been doing so much work in the gut, she realized that she's also helping persons with diabetes, hypertension, and so on, because everything starts in the gut. So she's created a couple of formulations that just help in balancing the gut, and invariably it's helped with males, right? So she does see male clients. Now, I asked her about fertility. And so this is what she said to me. She said, I don't only help women with fertility because sometimes the infertility is happening because of the male. Tell us a little bit about that, Ramona.
Yes. So when it comes to the sperm count, when it comes to the mobility of the sperm,
Mhm.
there has been an increase in the amount of men that would have this issue, and
Yes.
so it is because it's becoming more. It's more popular for men to have an issue with this, and I'm not speaking about a man that is 60 or 55, but younger men as well. I mean, men in their
Mhm.
30s are having issues with that. Even
Yes.
erectile dysfunction. It's really a thing now. It's not
Mhm.
just who used to have it, what it used to look like. Now it's in all many different forms and fashions at this point in
Yes.
time. So with the low sperm count or with the mobility being off, of course, pregnancy would be an issue, right? Or getting pregnant would be an issue. And so I use different methods to be able to strengthen and make that whole area, reproductive system for the man, make it a better version of itself.
So we were talking about the liver. Talk a little bit about the liver, because I don't think many people realize that when the liver is toxic, your reproductive health diminishes both in the males and in the females. So tell us a little bit about that, Ramona.
So the liver is it holds all of the everything, all the extra whatever, right? Of course, it's filtering things. And so you find that when the body is producing an excess amount of something, and you're eating an excess amount of something, the liver, of course, has to work extra hard. And it's this overworking and then this sitting and saturating itself in these hormones or these toxins or whatever it is that is then creating the dis-ease that we would then have, right? So the liver. So when a woman comes to me and she says, oh, she has endometriosis, I say, your liver, right? Your liver. If you come to me with PCOS, it's your liver. If you have erectile dysfunction, trust me, it's your liver, it's digestive, right? And so focusing on the digestive system, making sure it's healthy. I mean, even when it comes down to yeast infections and bacterial vaginosis, for the most part, not always, it's going to be a gut issue. It's going to be a gut issue. So the gut is what we want to focus on. So in healing, for me, I will either do detoxing, cleansing, and strengthening and stimulating, because all of these things are important, right? Not only do we want to detox, and sometimes it's a little funny for me with detoxing because detoxing doesn't necessarily always have this good rep, right? Because people will say, oh, you detox, they clean out your whole body, da, 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 just like douching. It has a bad rep, right? But if we know what we're doing and we do it properly and we do it well and we understand what the body's doing and listen to what the body's telling us, you will find that it's a really great way to create some healing. Really, really great way to create healing. So detoxing, making sure there's enough good bacteria in the body, and we can't. You don't want to just detox the liver, you know what I mean, or you don't want to just detox the this. Like, you want to make sure that you're detoxing all your systems, maybe a few at a time, or maybe all of them at one time, right? Detoxing all systems and also the blood, because a lot of times we forget about the blood. Like, come on, guys, like, we need to clean the blood. We can't try and clean the liver, but we're not really cleaning the blood. Like, that doesn't make sense. So cleaning the liver is cleaning the liver, but cleaning the blood is also very important.
Right. I'm happy you said that. Now, what I love about what you did, or how you operate, is that I don't want to use the word attack, but you approach it both externally and internally. So you do this topical detox, which I never even knew that, someone offered a topical or external detox. And you also complement it with internal detoxing using the Jamaican alkaline wild harvested herbs. Guys, it's two bush women talking to you, two bush women talking to you. So after I got my good, good up external topical castor oil pack with heat and my clay treatment on my abdomen as well, I was given this, I call it a portion. It's called the Supreme Body. And this is made by Ramona, by the way. Ramona, can I tell them what's in it, or I can't tell them?
Sure, no, I can tell them, of course. They need to
So,
know.
so because she is approaching the detox internally and externally, she has put some of the herbs that are good for iron, good for cleansing the blood, good for stimulating and nourishing the liver, gallbladder, flushing out the colon, and so on. So we have in here, good thing I have my glasses, um, golden seal, cayenne pepper, slippery elm, red clover, burdock root, dandelion, ginseng, what's this? Chamomile, echinacea, echinacea, sorry, echinacea, yes, sarsaparilla, guinea hen weed, and other herbs. Now, if you know anything about herbs, you can hear the blood cleanser in there, you can hear the liver detox in there, you can see the antibacterial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory in there, the slippery elm for getting the bowels moving, and so on. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So yeah, no, it's serious, because all over the world there is now an epidemic of young women who are having PCOS. In fact, I don't know of very many young women who don't have any menstrual issues. Everybody I know, them either have fibroids, or them have endometriosis, or them have some
PCOS.
PCOS, and everybody's like, what can I take? What can I take? No, I I'm good with herbs, but the truth is I also had challenges when I was younger, and I took quite a bit of herbs and it didn't help. And so I don't just tell people, oh, go take this herb, because I know that it has to be a set of lifestyle changes, a change in diet, plus the herbs, plus topical um, detoxing modalities. So tell us a little bit about what you're seeing, among clients in terms of the uptick in all these pelvic inflammatory diseases.
So I would say in our okay, so for me, I'm 42, and I remember growing up and birth control being a thing. I remember trying it. I remember just wasn't really consistent, so I just didn't bother. Uh, but I realized that every single time that I had an issue hormonally, maybe if I had cysts or maybe that my periods hurt a lot or whatever, birth control was always like the option. Like, okay, well, if you take the birth control, then you won't have this problem. And I would say for the most part, for most women, that is the case. But they really pushed it a lot during my time when I was growing up, when I was in my teens. And so a lot
Mm,
of my friends went on that. A lot. I think I was probably one of the only people that didn't take birth control every day.
yeah.
And I mean, even though it wasn't even about birth control, right? It wasn't about pregnancy at all. It was about making sure that their periods were healthier. So the periods have been unhealthy for a long time, right? Then, or the reproductive systems in women have been unhealthy for a long time. Then we masked it with the birth control. Then we now added the different types of foods that we now consume, knowing or not knowing the negative entities that would be in it. So
Yes.
women are suffering. I mean, humans are
Yes.
suffering in general. But if we're talking
Yeah.
from a reproductive standpoint, with women are definitely suffering. So the
Yeah.
PCOS, the fibroids, all of that. I mean, it's like 1 in every 10, maybe 1 in every 8 woman that
Hmm.
suffers from one of those things. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's if you have a group of 6 friends, at least 3 of them there's something,
That's
right?
terrible. The
There's there's
statistics.
there's something there
Yeah.
there's there and so it's really sad, and even from the fertility aspect of it, it breaks my heart as well, because now infertility it's rising as well, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's because of the endometriosis or the adenomyosis, like what I had, or
Hmm.
it could be fibroids or whatever. But no, it's like you have to, there sometimes you don't know, sometimes there's
Yes.
not a reason, right?
Right.
You're looking and
Right.
you're seeking and you're wondering what. And a
Yes.
lot of times for those clients, detoxing them really is what works out really, really well, again,
Yes.
but everyone's different.
Right.
Everybody's made up
But
different.
right. Well, I want us to get back into the this whole thing that you touched on a while ago about the infertility, because I remember when I was growing up, I'm in my 50s, I'm 54, and once you became a teenager, you were at risk of being impregnated if a boy just look at you. Now, everybody's heading to the fertility clinic. Everybody's finding out that they're having issues with fertility. We have now found out that simple things like the cereals that were being made and manufactured in the US had compounds in them that lowered fertility rates, especially in men. That the standard American diet were containing too much sugar and all the processed foods with all the seed oils were all coming together to create the perfect storm and create a little bit more infertility among women. Now, I want to ask you a little bit about trauma and how that contributes to um, issues with the womb. Have you observed among your clients, both here in Jamaica and in the US? Because I know you see clients in Florida.
Yes, I see clients. I see clients in Florida. I go
Hmm.
to South Carolina every so often because that's where Cosmic Woman was birthed. Um, and and then I did a lot of like my doula stuff in North Carolina. So I do go back and do some stuff there. But for the most part, Florida is usually always a go. So like every 2 months, I'm there seeing clients.
So yes, do you think there is a correlation between the trauma that that we see, among Black women? There is a correlation. A lot of people are saying there is a correlation between the trauma that we suffered in our history and how it manifests, in the womb. Are you able to see that, or you've never really looked at it that way?
Yes, I definitely think that though when there's trauma in the reproductive system in the womb itself, it's evident in some other type of way. It doesn't just
Hmm.
manifest itself there, it manifests somewhere else in the body also. Now,
Hmm.
things with fibroids, for
Hmm.
me, my view is that fibroid, it's a tumor, right? And
Yes.
we know that it will never be malignant, right? But it is a tumor, right? It is an estrogen driven condition. We know this. And because it's a tumor, especially people from the holistic world, they will tell you that that is a trauma. It is a trauma that she's holding maybe inside or outside of her uterus. Just like if the person had a brain tumor, okay, there is something there as well. So when it comes to the womb, it's there's that emotional aspect. So the emotional part is broken down, and then it's like the physical entity of this tumor is now there, right? That is how I see it. And so when it comes to, I mean, all my clients, I'm always going to work on them, especially once they've done like consultations and stuff like that. We do a lot of meditation, we do a lot of affirmations, we do a lot of journaling and all that type of kind of stuff, right? Um, but when it comes to a woman with fibroids, I make sure that we work a lot with her emotions, right? So, I mean, we're talking her solar plex, her sacral chakra, her heart chakra. We are cleansing, balancing, stimulating, that, because there needs to be the release, right? You have to, if it's, even if it's something like forgiveness, like lack of forgiveness of in self or what, or someone else, a violation, anything like that, it can manifest its way as a tumor. And
Right.
especially, if it's heart or something like that, then it would be more in the womb itself or outside of the womb in the reproductive system. So yeah.
Yes. Yes. I'm happy that you are actually taking that approach, because allopathic approaches will just deal with the problem, and you are also looking at the root causes and working with the woman. So I really love that. Now,
Yeah,
what
we
about
gotta we
stress?
have to look at the we have to go to the root, right? The
Yes.
root cause. But we
Hmm.
also want to, sometimes going to the root and fixing the root takes some time sometimes,
Yes.
depending on what
Hmm.
it is, depending the stage of it, depending on whatever.
Yes.
But
Hmm.
while it is that we are doing that, we also want to make sure that we are doing things in a natural way for the symptoms, if
To
there
be
are.
released.
right?
Yes.
So that you can function. You want to feel like, and you want to feel like a normal human being. You want to be able to
Yes.
function and just do, even if it's regular things,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so when our bodies are, we feel like they're ailing or they're failing us, I mean, that in itself creates depression, consciously or subconsciously, and then that creates a whole nother thing as well. So we know the whole body works together.
Right. Right. A quick question for you. How much does stress contribute to some of these imbalances in the womb? Because I know a lot of women now are under a lot of stress because of their work schedule. And there's, that we're producing those stress hormones, the cortisols and so on. Are you seeing a correlation between stress and these imbalances in the womb?
Yeah, man, you're going to, because everything is going to be, it's throwing off your hormones,
Mm-hmm.
and so if your hormones are thrown off, your endocrine system is thrown off, your reproductive system is going to be thrown off. You know what I mean? It all works together. So yes, you definitely find that there's a correlation between the two.
Right, right there. Yes. Okay. Now, one of the reasons why I'm so excited is because I was just going through your page a while ago and I noticed Endometriosis month is in March. What other month is in March? Women's month is in March.
Women's month is in March.
Yeah,
Yes.
International Women's Day is in March. And endometriosis month is in March. And what else is in March? I think there's another disease
um
that's
I'm not sure.
focused on in March.
But yeah, but there's a lot of woman stuff going on.
On in March. And
Yeah.
so what we have discussed, Ramona and I, is that we're going to be doing some offerings here in Jamaica, where we're going to get together and provide a series of 1 day retreats for women. So whether the woman is suffering from endometriosis or fibroids or PCOS, we are going to be spending a day with them talking through lifestyle changes that they can make, giving them the topical treatments, working with them in terms of movement, medicine, meditation. I'll be doing sound bath healing, and we're going to be having vegan food and really just giving ourselves intelligent self care. So we're not going to be putting cucumbers on your eyes and giving you a spa treatment per se. We're going to be doing the things that will drop your heart rate, slow down your breathing, get your left brain and your right brain to engage, stimulate your endocrine system to go back into rhythm, get the hormones regulated, get the whole abdominal area detoxed so that you walk away at the end of the day feeling renewed and refreshed and rejuvenated. So, for everyone that is watching this, please share it with uh, a woman in Jamaica who may be having some of these challenges. And, even, follow what we're doing here so that you will be alerted when we have the dates and the location and the times and the offering, because we need to take care of our women. In fact, one of the things I always say, when our women are healthy and balanced, our society becomes healthy and balanced, because a balanced woman is going to raise balanced children. A balanced woman will also choose a balanced man. So it is so important to have the women taken care of, balanced, healthy, and strong, because they are the foundation of the society. You know, someone here was saying, I know it's March of Dimes for premature babies in March. I didn't know that.
Yes, that's one too.
Yes, 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 yes. So, right. So that's pretty much what we want to share with everyone, that, as we come up to March, we're going to be having more discussions on women's issues. Ramona, you are about to start a podcast. Can you share with us the name of your podcast and what you're going to be talking about?
It will be called Holistic Hub, the Holistic Hub, and we're going to be
Mm-hmm.
talking everything holistic,
Right.
from all different angles. There will be guests some weeks not,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm excited about it. I think it's really really necessary for the education to be out there, and it's
Right.
like easily accessible. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm
we
very, very excited about it.
right. No, I why I'm also excited is because I don't know if you see what's going on in the world. I feel like there's something brewing, and I think it's important for everyone to empower themselves with the information and the tools for healing themselves naturally. I mean, simple things that you can do, things from the kitchen that you can get, order certain herbs online, gentle herbs, and take care of yourself and maintain your health and not wait until everything collapses and then you're trying to take a bazillion herbs to get well. What you want to do is maintain your health by incorporating certain herbs and certain actions while your body is strong and healthy,
Right.
so I'm hoping that when you do begin that podcast, you'll share the link with me. I'll share it with everyone here, and we can all be educating ourselves together. Are you going to be doing any detox programs on that podcast, or it's just going to
Yes,
be
yes,
general?
yes, yes. I'll be talking about detox.
Mm-hmm.
From what I can remember as of right now, I think there are probably like four, 3 or 4 episodes where we're talking detox, because we get into detox in a lot of different ways.
Right.
If it's like using sound, or if it's using, herbs, or if it's, so there are meditation. So there are a few different things in detoxing. Really,
Modalities.
really want to
Yeah.
touch like every aspect, because I feel like some things get lost,
Yes.
um, and there's no need for that. Even when it comes to like our foods, just something as simple as onion. We use onion every day, and we're using white onion and we're using yellow onion, and it's so acidic, and it creates inflammation, and this is something that we're using every single day. You
Day.
know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And then wondering how it is that we have these issues that we have. We think we're eating healthy. So the holistic hub is really to like get down to the nitty gritty, like talk full truth, put it all on the table, and educate.
Right. So someone has just put in the comment section, how do I detox after a full hysterectomy? I'm 53 and I recently lost my 25-year-old son to gun violence. I suffer from fatigue, insomnia, mood swings, and obesity. I am not on any medication. So that's good that she is not on any medication. So
Correct.
would you like to give her some insight and then, whatever, I'll also give some insights on that.
So sorry to hear that. I do think that I mean, I'm sure, as you know, there needs to be like some heart healing, for
Yes,
sure. Like you
yes.
can't not. And but apart from that, I know already that like your body is deficient of magnesium.
Hmm.
So I would definitely do that. Find a really great way of how you can get that in your body and you can be consistent, right? Of course, it'd be great if you would do like Celtic salt under your tongue every day or something like that. Like that would be great if you could do that. But let's say you can't, or you're not going to remember. That's not just like not a thing. We figure out different ways. Maybe it's easier for you to pop up a healthier magnesium pill that has, a healthier coating, or capsule, and it's easier for you to do that. I mean, again, we can't always go for perfection, right? Sometimes you just have to go for what can be realistic and what we can be consistent in, because it's the consistency that then will allow the body to change, right?
Yes.
So magnesium, I would say definitely deficient. Vitamin D3, I can see that you're deficient, or here that you're deficient of that as well. Um, when it comes to your womb, I mean, because there is no quote unquote womb, I think that you probably want to like think in your head how how you want to fill that space, right? Because it's a space. There's a space there. It's like hollowish, I guess you could say, right? And so figure out how you can a positive way in how you can fill that space. And that's, I mean, I don't want to tell you what that should be. That's something that you could probably
Creativity,
meditate
like
on.
some, you mean like a creative pursuit,
Like,
doing
yeah,
something with your
so
hands,
so
or
yeah, so it could be it could be, so I would say think about it from like a chakra standpoint, right? And because it's empty, because that the uterus isn't there, and I don't know if it's a full hysterectomy, so I don't know if your ovaries or
yes,
what's
it is.
there.
It is.
It's a
It's
full.
a full
Okay.
hysterectomy.
Okay.
Yes. So she's
So in
lost
that
her ovaries.
okay, so in that space, I would want you to use your sacral chakra wheel and fill that space. So because you have more space, because you have this empty space, and it is connected to the sacral chakra. I would make sure that I expand that energy of the sacral chakra to fill up all of what's empty there, right? So it's even like more powerful. I don't know if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm thinking, I mean, she's lost something from her heart as well. So
Exactly.
there is a lot of space to fill. I would say that it's very important at this time to be very gentle on yourself and to, maybe get into some exercise because you are obese, and start to move. Movement is also a medicine. There are some beautiful meditations that you can listen to soothe you in the evenings so that you can sleep better. And there's some herbs that you can take that will nourish and soothe your central nervous system. Teas like chamomile, passion flower, valerian. Those three: chamomile, passion flower, and valerian. They will relax your central nervous system so that you can sleep better. And definitely use some frequencies on YouTube. You can just choose. You type in, you know, frequencies for grief, because you are experiencing grief now, and your hormones are all over the place. Um, Ramona, is there any suggestion that she can utilize, natural herb wise to regulate the hormones? Is red clover and all of those, would those
Yeah,
help?
so I would focus more. I would focus more on the digestive system to help
Mm-hmm.
balance out the hormones more, than
Right, got it.
focusing just on that.
Right.
Since those are the organs that you actually, that they're there. I think that makes a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more sense. So we're talking
Mm.
about things like, milk thistle, um, and ashwagandha.
One, yes,
Um,
ashwagandha, yeah.
um, and those types of things. Even cinnamon is really great as well. But
Mm-hmm.
again, you're gonna want to cleanse. You know what I mean? So I know.
Yes.
So even Paula's tea is really great. I mean, I was reading the ingredients and I was like, yeah, man, this nice.
Yeah. It's
And
a
so I
nice
know
one.
that, I mean, digestively, really, really, really good. So if she could do
Mm-hmm.
something like that,
Right.
um,
Now, also, you can go to Ramona's IG page, and you have a store set up so she can actually order, or she can reach out to you and do a consult and get some recommendations, because
Yeah, she can just send
you
me a
have stuff
DM. She
in
can
this.
send me a message on
Mhm.
IG.
Yes,
I guess that's easier than like giving you my number or something. I guess.
yes,
So
yes, it
so
is.
so so you can go to IG, send me a DM, and then I will respond to you in terms of consultations
Right.
that would be done, and then
On
treatment
right.
plans would be created.
Absolutely. So again, I want to thank you, Ramona. I want to thank, you know what, guys? Let me just tell you a big secret. When I moved to Kingston in 2012, my first yoni egg that I ever owned, I bought from Ramona. And so what I love about how Ramona approaches her work is that she incorporates everything. She understands that plants will work, oils will work, crystals will work, frequencies will work in terms of balancing you back into complete wellness. So I just want to commend you, Ramona, for listening to the voice of spirit and pulling all of this wisdom together to create blends and formulations for your clients. And I know a lot of practitioners are just going online and finding companies that can, they can put their label on. Ramona does her own thing in her house in Kingston, Jamaica. She
And
does her own thing up in the States as well. She is doing her own blend. I mean, when you taste this thing, it tastes like guinea hen weed. Straight up. Guinea hen weed.
with
And
with pepper.
with cayenne pepper. So it's not no American pharmaceutical anything. It is Jamaican herbs. So if you ever come into Jamaica and you want to see her, you can find her on IG and just make an appointment. And again, I really want everyone here to share this with their friends all over Jamaica, because we are going to be partnering to do a lot of work in March during Women's Month. For you men who are seeing this, if you have a girlfriend or an aunt or a cousin who has been struggling with womb issues, buy them the package so that they can join us in March during Women's Month for a proper detox and real substantive guidelines as to how to shift things around to bring their bodies back into balance and to eliminate some of these womb issues. And this is also, again, good for men, because the work that Ramona is doing is focused entirely on the gut, getting the results in the reproductive organs and the areas of fertility. So, Ramona, someone is asking before we um, wrap up, where can we order your stuff,
Okay,
Ramona?
so I would say, so if you have IG, so depending on where you are, so what I would say is, if you have IG, send me a message on IG and tell me where you are, so I can
Mhm.
direct you exactly what's the best way. Maybe to go to the websites, maybe to from WhatsApp as well. So I don't know if anybody just wants to take the WhatsApp number. It is
Yes,
eight
let's
seven
let me.
six.
Yes, I'm gonna type it in. Hold on, so that everybody knows. Comment. So, Ramona's number,
876-406-2764.
876
406
406.
two seven six
Yeah,
four.
2764. All right. So for everyone, if you need to reach out to Ramona, you can WhatsApp her at the number that I've just typed in, and she has a center in the US, so shipping from the US to you is going to be easier than shipping it from Jamaica. So there's
Correct.
so many advantages. So if you're seeing this and you're interested, send it off to someone you know that might be suffering, because trust me, a lot of people are suffering with these challenges.
Suffering
And
in
we have,
silence.
yes, suffering in silence some of the time. Some people, no matter what, they know they're going to lose 5 days every month, um, because they are incapacitated by pain, menstrual cramps, and so on. And I just want to throw this out there. You know, a lot of employers are losing valuable work hours because women are incapacitated by their menstrual cramps every month. And you know how traditionally in Jamaica you have end of year party and the companies will throw a big party, right? During Easter, all the companies will spend millions of dollars giving their staff members bun and cheese. But nobody is thinking of investing that money into helping their women to be well, sharing with them how to shift their lifestyle, getting practitioners to come in and give talks, how to manage stress, how to eat better so that you can be well. And so I want to encourage you also to share this kind of information with your employers and say to them, listen, this is what we want to do for International Women's Day, or Women's Month. Come, get practitioners to come in, speak to the women, give them tools and tips for regulating their hormones, getting healthy and strong. So that's just something I'm thinking that we all need to contribute towards, getting companies to invest in wellness, especially women's wellness.
Yeah.
All right.
And you get
So
so
yeah,
much more out of them. You know what I mean?
of
It just makes
course.
more sense. Yeah.
You don't have any more sick days. I'm telling you, there are some women 5 days out of every month they're going to be absent from work and they can't do any better. They're in so much pain that they're literally passing out from the pain.
Hmm.
And there are solutions, and we want to share them. So, you know, just for everyone, if you're not following Ramona on Instagram, she's Cosmic Woman, and I'm going to put in the description, I'm going to put all her telephone details, her website, and the ways that you can reach out to her to get a consult, with a virtual consult or right here in Kingston, Jamaica. So again, Ramona, thank you. Thank you for all you do for the women of this country. And we hope that we'll be coming on we'll be coming on soon to hear your podcast once it begins. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, someone was saying, yes, we need to use our time wisely for promoting and preserving health rather than curing illness.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, nurses speak. That's really the point of
Yeah.
starting these discussions and actually taking the action, and you know offering these wellness days so that people can just come in and completely immerse themselves in modalities and go home equipped to keep the stress down and maintain their health. So that's it.
Health
Thank
is
you,
well.
Ramona.
Thank you
Health
again,
is well.
honey.
And thank you all for joining us. Please share this YouTube discussion with as many people as possible, and we can get questions. In fact, for those persons who have watched to this point, if there are any questions that you have, place them in the comment section and we will, as best as possible, address them. Okay? Thank you. Thank you,
Bye
Ramona.
bye.
Bye.